Royal Sussex Squad family, welcome back. Buckle in, because today we have a story that exposes once again the sheer hypocrisy of the British media, the jealousy of Harry's detractors, and the quiet dignity of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Now, the latest from the tabloids, particularly the Daily Mirror, is that Prince Harry is preparing for what could be a significant face-to-face with his father, King Charles, next month. Yes, you heard that right. After more than 20 months apart, father and son may finally have the private meeting that should have happened ages ago, away from cameras, away from briefing wars, and away from the manipulative games of those who want to keep this family divided. But before we break this down, let's remember exactly why Harry is coming back to the UK. This man isn't jetting across the Atlantic for gossip column headlines. He isn't going back to the place that treated him and his wife with cruelty just for attention. No, Harry is returning because of his steadfast commitment to WellChild, a charity that supports seriously ill children and their families. This is not new, this is not performative. Harry has been involved with WellChild for years, even before Meghan was in his life, and he has never wavered. That's consistency, that's dedication. And yet what do the tabloids do? Instead of celebrating the fact that Harry remains loyal to causes that actually help people, they twist the narrative into Harry might finally meet his father. They frame it as if Harry is grovelling, as if he is desperate for approval, when in fact it is King Charles who should be reaching out, not the other way around. Let's not forget that Harry has been treated like an outsider simply for marrying the woman he loves and protecting his family from toxic, racist and classist abuse. Now, the reports are saying that Harry and Charles could see each other in September. It's no coincidence that this would happen on the 3rd anniversary of Queen Elizabeth's passing. And while some media outlets want to frame this as a PR stunt, the truth is simpler. Harry wants dignity, privacy, and reconciliation on his own terms. This isn't about pomp and ceremony. It's about a father and a son talking like human beings, without the courtiers, without the palace spin doctors, without William's looming shadow poisoning the atmosphere. And, oh yes, we have to talk about William. Because notice how quickly the media made sure to insert the line. Prince William has rejected any reconciliation with his brother. They just had to put that in there. That's the entire point of this media leak. It's not about Harry and Charles, it's about keeping the narrative going that William is the strong one, the one holding the line, the one punishing Harry. The tabloids want you to believe William is in control, but what's really happening is bitterness and insecurity. William cannot handle the fact that Harry has built a meaningful, independent life outside the institution. Harry is free. Harry is loved. Harry is thriving with Meghan by his side, and William cannot stand it. The story also tries to spin Meghan's decision not to accompany Harry as some kind of self-imposed exile. Excuse me? Since when is choosing peace, safety and stability for your children considered exile? Meghan is doing what any mother with sense would do. Staying with her children, protecting them from a hostile environment, and refusing to give the British press the circus they crave. And yet they will twist it into Meghan doesn't want to face the music, or Meghan is too scared to return. No, Meghan is choosing wisely. She knows that no matter what she does, the press will attack her, so she is prioritising what actually matters, Archie and Lilibet's well-being. That is strength, that is grace. And speaking of Archie and Lilibet, let's not forget this. King Charles has not seen his grandchildren since June 2022, over 2 years. Now ask yourself, who is responsible for that? Is it Harry, who has repeatedly said he wants his children to know their grandfather? Or is it Charles, who allows himself to be manipulated by courtiers, tabloids, and his elder son's bitterness? Let's be clear. If Charles truly wanted to see his grandchildren, he could. But he chooses to prioritise image, tradition, and pleasing the very press that hounds his own son. Another point the tabloids tried to push is that this peace summit is somehow thanks to palace officials, or Charles making a grand gesture. Don't be fooled. This sudden openness from the king comes right after Harry spoke out in his BBC interview, subtly reminding the world that his father's health is fragile and time may be limited. That wasn't a cruel comment. That was Harry speaking truth. And what happened? Suddenly the palace is open to a meeting. That's not coincidence, that's cause and effect. That's what I call positive reinforcement. Harry learned a powerful lesson. When he speaks out, when he tells the truth, the palace finally moves. When he stays silent, they ignore him. And yet, the British press wants you to believe that Harry is the problem, that Harry is desperate, that Harry is causing the drama. In reality, it is the leakers, the briefers, and the courtiers who are spinning this meeting like it's some grand victory for the monarchy. They want to frame it as if Charles is generously allowing Harry back in, when in truth it is Charles who benefits from reconnecting with his son, especially at a time when his popularity is declining, his health is uncertain, and his reign is already being questioned. Now, let's call out the elephant in the room, these so-called US sources. Do we believe for a second that Harry and Meghan's camp is leaking details of private meetings to tabloids like the Mirror? Absolutely not. Harry and Meghan have repeatedly shown that they value their privacy, that they will share their truth on their own terms, not through anonymous quotes in hostile newspapers. No, this has William's fingerprints all over it, or perhaps the palace itself. Why? Because they need to control the narrative. They need to remind the public that Harry is still lesser, still in need of approval. They cannot handle the truth, that Harry is free, that Meghan is thriving, and that the Sussexes are winning. And here's where I want to make this clear for everyone listening. Reconciliation is possible, yes, but only if it comes with respect, only if it comes with honesty. Harry has never demanded perfection from his family. He has asked for accountability. He has asked for decency, and what has he gotten? Smear campaigns, leaks and cruelty. If Charles truly wants a relationship with his son, and if he truly wants to know his grandchildren, then he must choose Harry over the tabloids, over the courtiers, and over William's bitterness. Until then, these meetings will remain symbolic, not substantive. But let's take a moment to appreciate the bigger picture. Harry doesn't need the monarchy to validate him. He has his family, he has Meghan, Archie and Lilibet. He has his global platform, his philanthropic work and his freedom. That is what terrifies the British media the most. Because while William is chained to a system that demands silence, Harry speaks with clarity. While William follows palace orders, Harry sets his own agenda. And while William and Kate cling to outdated PR tactics, Harry and Meghan are building a future based on authenticity and love. So to those tabloids salivating over this so-called meeting, remember this. Harry isn't coming to beg, he isn't coming to grovel. He's coming for his charity, for his commitments, and possibly for a moment of dignity with his father. Everything else? That's just noise. Mirror, Prince Harry will likely meet his father face-to-face next month. Yesterday we got confirmation that Prince Harry will make his annual September visit to the UK. He's worked with his patronage, WellChild, and they've coordinated a date for the annual WellChild Awards. Considering Harry tends to book several events for his visits to the UK, I would imagine he'll probably do something with Scotty's Little Soldiers, and maybe one or two other charities, and maybe something around Invictus too. Harry's schedule is close hold, for good reason, but we know he'll be in town on September 8th. I suggested that Harry probably wouldn't meet his father face-to-face, given that Charles is expected to stay in Balmoral up until mid-September, when he's hosting the godforsaken Trump family for a state visit. But the royalist pointed out that while Charles is staying in Balmoral, he travels back to London on a weekly basis for his cancer treatments. So, it's not impossible to think that the timing could line up for an in-person meeting with Harry. Well, the Daily Mirror says it's happening. Prince Harry is poised to see his father, King Charles, for the first time in 20 months, when he returns to Britain in 2 weeks, although Prince William has rejected any reconciliation with his brother. The thawing of relations between the Duke of Sussex and the monarch comes after an informal peace summit with Buckingham Palace officials. Harry is expected in London on September 8th, the 3rd anniversary of Queen Elizabeth II's death, to attend the WellChild Awards, a charity event he has long supported. A US source told the Mirror, "It's clear there is now a determination on both sides to make this happen. Nobody is pretending the wider family issues have been resolved, but this is about beginning with Charles and Harry." For the first time in a long time, there's a genuine sense that reconciliation is within reach. Prince Harry's team and the palace have opened a line of communication, and there is every hope that father and son will see one another when the Duke returns to London in September. They continued. After 20 months apart, and with the King continuing his treatment, the feeling is that the time is right to take that step. This is not about grand gestures or set-piece meetings, it's about a simple face-to-face conversation between a father and his son. The priority is privacy and dignity, but also ensuring the door stays open for further dialogue. As for Harry and William, though, any chance of reconciliation between them has been rejected out of hand. Despite the possible meeting, it is understood Harry's wife, Meghan Markle, will maintain her self-imposed exile from Britain, opting to stay in California with the couple's 2 children, Archie and Lilibet. Charles has not seen his grandchildren since June 2022, when the Sussexes returned for the late Queen's Platinum Jubilee celebrations. From the Daily Mirror. I have serious doubts that this comes from a US source. They're trying to make it sound like Team Sussex is leaking details of a meeting, and I just don't think that would happen. This sounds more like it's either coming from Prince William's office, jealous and enraged that the meeting is happening, or Charles and/or Camilla. Anyway, I hope Charles and Harry do get a chance to see each other, and as always, I'm glad that Meghan and the kids are staying safe in Montecito. It's still hilarious to me that all Harry had to do was give an interview to the BBC and suggest that his dad might not have much time left, and bam! Charles agrees to meet him. That's what's known as positive reinforcement. Now, Harry knows that all he has to do to get what he wants with Charles is go public about what's happening behind the scenes. And now, Royal Sussex Squad family, I want to hear from you. Do you believe this meeting will truly happen, or is this just another palace game to make Charles look good? Do you think William is deliberately sabotaging reconciliation? And most importantly, do you think Harry should even bother trying to bridge the gap, given how many times he's been betrayed? As always, thank you for spending this time with me. If you love what we do here, if you love how we uplift Harry and Meghan, expose the lies and keep the truth alive, then please make sure you hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and share it with fellow supporters. And if you'd like to go the extra mile in supporting our work, please consider donating through Super Thanks. Every bit helps us keep this community strong, loud, and unafraid to speak the truth. Until next time, Royal Sussex Squad family, stay safe, stay blessed, and keep standing with Harry and Meghan.